if you're weak-minded, if everybody hurts your little baby feelings, I mean, do you see how funny it is? Though, like we're even laughing when I say it that way because it is funny. There are some people that all day long they just get their little baby feelings hurt.
A leader has to take the risks.
I'm going to go right through this. You've all seen this before, but another reminder. This is why Primerica. Products people need, we ain't going out of business. Recession proof, okay? So when you're recruiting somebody, this is what you're talking about. You're like, dude, it's not recession proof. Are you afraid that we're going to have another recession? Are you afraid that there could be a downturn in the economy again? Everybody's nervous about it. We don't know what's going to happen. It's election year, right? The whole world could freaking fall apart. But I guarantee you that whatever happens in the election, it's not going to stop our business. Because I've been through every, right? Like, I mean, even Vince, right? He knows, like, being a part of Hollywood and all that kind of stuff. I mean, look, let's be honest. Hollywood got their ass kicked. And they will get their ass kicked again when the next pandemic comes. So, I'm sorry, but I don't want to be a part of that. Like, that's not where I want to make my fortune. Why? Because Primerica is endless. Yeah. I get to recruit, so I don't have to wait, I don't have to do an audition and hope I get the job. Like, I could literally go get the job right now. I can go prospect the guy down the street. I could set up an appointment with him, get in the house, and I could go make $1,000 tonight. And I could do that every day. I don't have to be, just hoping things are going to be great for me. Like, oh man, I hope this year is great for me. No. The year is going to be great for you because you're going to do the right things. Okay? Low startup cost, part-time, leadership, personal development, passive income. Right, this is it right here. I mean, come on. I mean, I'm going to share a lot more about that, but fantastic tax benefits, ownership, and have fun. Be a winner again, man. I don't know. I want to be a winner. Yeah. You want to win?
Yeah.
I mean, really? Do you want to be a winner? I mean, you want to win for your life? This is your life we're talking about. Start painting your face for your own life instead of painting your face for the people friggin' on the TV. Who cares about those people, man? This is your life we're talking about. Let's get serious about that. And then, but I did want to just touch on this. This is really the real reason why Primerica is the greatest business in the world, because I believe all of our human needs are taken care of by this business. So what does that mean? That means that we get certainty. So you say, well, wait a minute, Daniel. I'm not certain. We're on commission, man. There's no way. Every day you don't know what's going to happen, and blah, blah, right? But when you build it, you get certainty. When you create a business, you get certain. Like, I know every single month, and I've known this for 20 years plus, I know about what I'm going to make. I have a pretty good idea based on the amount of people in chairs, right? Vince knows what his base shop is going to do almost every single month, simply because he can look around and see the people in the office and go, okay, based on the earnings per chair, really you guys should be doing, with this size team, you guys should be doing easy 20, 30,000. This is not out of the, it only takes, if you decide to go do 10 grand again, hopefully you do, I guarantee you're going to have another person do 10 grand because they're going to try to chase you. So now you're talking 20 grand minimum just with 2 people. Add everybody else, the 1 sale, 2 sales, 3 sales, 5 sales people. Now you're at 30 grand. Okay, so with every single recruit that you have on your team, whatever you do, your people will do half. It's just the way it works. When you're building your base shop, whatever you do personally, your best guy is going to do half of you. It's just the way it works. You might get a couple of people to step it up and actually build it a little bit bigger. Sometimes they'll beat you. Sometimes they won't. But what you're trying to do is you're trying to set that personal example for every single person on your team. Does that make sense? Don't ever ask your people to do stuff that you haven't done or you're not willing to go do. You got to go do it, right? Of course, we get variety because every day is different. You understand? These are human needs. Every human being needs these things. Now, some of us need different ones more than the others, but we all need this to survive and to be happy. Y'all want to be happy?
Yeah.
Right. Get your human needs. And I promise you, if in your life you have no certainty, you have no variety, you have no feeling of importance, I promise you, you're going to be pretty depressed. And by the way, this is why people, I used to always laugh because when I would drive into LA for an appointment, I hated driving into LA, by the way, to go to an appointment. There's always traffic and people are always telling you you're number one, but different finger. And so everybody's upset, they're like, and I'm telling you, people are depressed. America gives out more drugs than any country in the world. Why? Because people are pissed. They're mad. Why? Because they have no feeling of importance. They go to their job, and what happens at their job? Their boss kicks their ass all day long. It's not sustainable, all right? It's not sustainable. You go to your job, and your boss, they pass you up on a promotion because some new guy came out of college or whatever, and he's like, well, you don't have a college education, so I'm going to pass you up and give this guy the better job with the more money. So does that make you feel important? No. Of course not. So this is what we're talking about. We're talking Primerica. You walk into a room and you're starting to do something. What do they do for you? They clap for you. They tell you you're amazing. They're proud of you. I mean, anybody ever said, I'm proud of you? I mean, right? I'm sure Vince has told you, man, I'm proud of you, dude. Great job. You're doing something. You're growing. You're whatever, right? I mean, imagine for 25 years plus of my life, people have been making me feel special. That's what we do here. And you should be doing the same thing as well, as often as possible. It's not always easy. Can't do it 24 hours a day. But man, every single day, you got to tell somebody, man, I believe in you. I'm proud of you. Like I'm excited for you. Like you got what it takes. You're doing something here. Let's go for greatness. Let's do something together. And people want to be a part of that connection, right? That's our connection, right? When we come in the room, that's what we're doing, is we're connecting with each other. That's why the people on Zoom, they're missing out on a core component of what this business is all about. And by the way, they're missing out on that human need because you'll never get that. You'll never get that on Zoom. You'll never get the feeling that the people have right now, right? The connection that we are all having right now. So I would encourage everybody on Zoom, make a decision to get off Zoom. Zoom is just a crutch. Zoom is just like, you do Zoom if you really had to, or if you're in a different state, I get it. But if you're around in the local area and you can actually be here, you should always be here in person. And by the way, isn't that setting the example for your team as well? Right. So how are you going to ever build a big meeting attendance? How are you going to ever build a big team if you don't show up? It'll never happen. So you'll always just be a salesperson. Improve. We're always improving. And then ultimately, don't we really want to give back? Right. Right. I know that's what I'm doing. Most people in my position, there's no way. There's no way you're going to get them, to drive. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if Hector Lamarck would have drove to Fresno today. So I don't think so. And most people wouldn't do it. But for me personally, it means more. I mean, I'm the one that asked Vince. I'm like, dude, do you need me to come out and, hang out with you guys and just have a little conversation? I wanted to be here. I don't have to be here. I want to be here. Why? Because I want to give. I want to give back. Right? So now, shouldn't you be thinking, man, I want to go build something great. I want to go do something great. Because doesn't it feel better to give sometimes than even to receive? Yeah. Right. Like it feels good, man. Like when you're able to give something to somebody, make a difference in somebody's life, or how do you think that you're going to feel when you get something tonight, you go out and recruit somebody tomorrow, you bring them here on Tuesday night, and you start growing your team? How are you going to feel? I'm going to make you guys a challenge right now, right? I mean, every one of you, if you're up for this, right? Every single one of you, I want you to invite at least 10 people for Tuesday night. Invite at least 10 people. Now, I don't care if it's the homeless guy in the corner. I don't care, right? Just get people in the room. I want to see this place packed out, right? Standing room only. Okay, act like it's a big event. Act like it's an actual, like you have to pay to get here. Make it special. Make it mean something, and that way, it's gonna pay off for you. Okay. So, anyways, that's really why the business is so important. All right. So let's get down to it, guys. Mental toughness is the ability to resist, manage, and overcome your doubts, your worries, concerns, and circumstances that prevent you from succeeding. or excelling at a task or towards an objective or any performance outcome that you set out to achieve. That's mental toughness. So let me ask you guys this, right? I mean, do you really think that you're going to be successful, like be worth millions of dollars one day, if you're not mentally tough? Like if you're weak-minded, if everybody hurts your little baby feelings, I mean, do you see how funny it is? Oh, like we're even laughing when I say it that way because it is funny. There are some people that all day long they just get their little baby feelings hurt. I mean, Art Williams used to give out torn T-shirt awards. So he would give out T-shirts to everybody, but if you didn't do what you were supposed to do, he gave you a crappy, torn up, ripped up T-shirt. Now, that used to piss people off. Big time. Now, you have two options in that situation. You could get pissed off and say, what an asshole Art Williams was, right? You could think that if you want to. You could say, he's an asshole and I don't like that guy and he's terrible and I can't believe he made fun of me on the stage and all this kind, right? You could do that. Or you could turn it around, use that as fuel for your fire. See, we always have the choice as to how we're going to react in situations. We're going to either take a situation and make a lot of money from it, which is what I did, by the way. If you only knew what my RVP did to me, when I was going to RVP, anytime you got mad at Vince, you wouldn't be mad at Vince anymore, okay? If you knew what my RVP did to me. But the truth is, when I went RVP, I think I had made $50,000 within, 3-4 years or something like that of becoming an RVP. I was already making $500,000. But why was that? I mean, I give all the credit to my upline RVP. Because I used what he did to piss me off to go change my life forever. I didn't use it to screw up my life forever, which, by the way, is what mentally weak people do. It's very unfortunate. It's very sad to me that you will allow a friend, right, this buddy of yours, to tell you that, oh, that Primerica thing don't work. It pains me to think that you're going to allow that dude or that lady to steal your dream. Could you imagine? I mean, seriously, like for the rest of your life. I mean, imagine so many of my recruits through the years. So many, I mean, hundreds of people that I've recruited. Oh, it's not going to work. Or they quit on you. What do you think that they would be saying today? Especially when they saw that slide. What would they be saying? They would be saying, wow, maybe I shouldn't have quit. Maybe I shouldn't have given up. Maybe I should have went and followed the blueprint, followed the process, and actually followed through and winning. Could you imagine? Could you imagine getting upset about something and then quitting or allowing it to screw up your own dang business? That's insane to me. Never. And by the way, I've never thought quitting in all my years. I've never thought I'm going to quit the business. It's never entered my mind, even when I was going through that adversity. Never. Why? Because I was raised in this business. I was raised with that right there. This is all I know. All I knew was if it's going to be, it's up to who? It's up to me, right? If it's going to happen, it's going to be up to me. I can't, I'm not going to sit around and wait for my guys to go do it. I can't. I'm sorry. I can't play that game. But every one of you should have that same thought in your mind. Like, I'm not going to wait for Vince to do it. I'm not going to wait for Johan to do it. I'm not going to wait for Gabby to go. I'm not going to wait for Melinda to go do it. Right? I'm not going to wait for anybody to go do it. I'm going to go do it because this is my effing business. And if it's up to any, right? If it's gonna be, it's up to me. I have to make that commitment. So then you go, mentally tough people love a challenge. Mentally tough people view obstacles as challenges, not a paralyzing event. They look at their failures and mistakes as lessons to be learned from and opportunities for growth.
Exactly.
So failure is never failure. It's just another opportunity to get better, man. Right? I mean, I was talking to somebody the other day, and I mean, when I first started social media, if you look at my YouTube videos, if you look at my first videos, if you looked at my first account, if you looked at all that stuff, if you looked at it, you would go, that's funny. Right? Because I didn't know what I was doing. And by the way, everybody told me not to do it. By the way. Yeah. Hello. And so everybody told me not to do it. So I said, no. I'm going to fail forward. I'm going to do it anyways. Despite all the backlash that I got, I was gonna do it anyways. So whatever obstacle comes your way, don't let it paralyze you. Don't let it knock you down. Don't let it stop you from getting what you need, right? So mentally tough people embrace emotional intelligence. This is the bedrock of mental toughness. They don't take things what?
Personal.
They don't take things personal. You can't be mentally tough if you can't be mentally tough if you can't tolerate negative emotions and do something productive with them. Moments that test your mental toughness are ultimately testing your emotional intelligence. So we all, if I were to ask anybody, we all believe we are mentally intelligent, right? Emotionally and mentally intelligent. We think, we're human beings. We think we're smart. We're like, I'm smart. I'm pretty smart. I'm emotionally intelligent. I'm a smart guy. I know shit. I got it down. I understand things. I mean, I'm not a dummy, right? Nobody in this room would say they're a dummy.
Right.
But do you realize that sometimes you're not very emotionally intelligent? You're not very mentally intelligent either. And it's our ability to recognize that and say, you know what? I am stupid sometimes. Sometimes I'm just an idiot, right? Sometimes I say the wrong thing. Sometimes I do the wrong thing. Sometimes I just blow it. Bless you. Sometimes everything goes to shit. By the way, your first couple of years here, everything is going to go to shit. It is. I'm sorry. Like if you came here only for the money, I feel sorry for you. And by the way, most people that come here only for the money, they'll never make it. See, all the rest of the companies, they did their business because they wanted to just make money. I came here because I wanted it to correct an injustice. We came here because we wanted to build a team of leaders. We wanted to create something that was going to be a legacy for the future.
Right.
We were excited about creating something, building something, helping people, going out and changing our communities for the better. So the truth is, I mean, Vince and Ashley, in my opinion, they've made their community better. I mean, just look at this office. This office is beautiful. I think it's one of the nicest offices in all of Primerica. Like, it's beautiful. And I know Ashley designed it because it couldn't be. You helped too? Okay, all right, good. But I mean that's where we gotta be. We gotta get so freaking strong, man. Nothing can touch us. We gotta be so strong and tight, united, right? Together, right? We gotta be so positive that we are going to make it. That it's just a different energy that comes in the room, right? I mean, when you walk in and you're like, hey Jerry, what's going on, man? I'm fired up, man. I'm gonna do something big, man. I'm totally excited, I'm gonna change my life, right? I mean, this is a different energy. Instead of coming in and going, oh man, what's up, dude? How you doing, man? It's a whole different ballgame. Or saying, hey Jerry, man, where you at? And then, oh, I don't know where he's at. Oh man, I'm beating you right now, man. Come on, let's go, let's step up. You want to, do a competition this month, man? Let's do, like, could you imagine? We used to do competitions every month. We used to put people against each other and compete with each other. And then you know what we did? And we had a picture of Shane Perry on our wall. We used to throw darts at his face. Right? Because he and by the way, he helped us in our bass shop, because when at the time he didn't have a $300,000 bass shop at the time, but we were at a big event, and he got up and he says, yeah, Daniel, he says, our districts do more than your bass shop. That's what he said. Right? Well, that month we all came together as a team. We got pissed, right? We got pissed, we got mad, and we ended up becoming #1 in the state of California. We beat Shane, we beat everybody that month in the state of California. We were #1 that month. And so you have no idea what happens if you use adversity to your benefit. You gotta look for ways to create competition. You gotta look for ways to get, you almost gotta make yourself find ways to get pissed off. Again, in a positive way. If you use it in a positive way. So compete, challenge, pull up the leaders bulletins. Vince should be pulling up the leaders bulletins every week, saying, all right, man, these are the #1 districts. These are the #1 divisions. These are the #1 bass shops. These are the #1, right, everywhere. So that way you have something to challenge yourself to. Stop playing small. You're not playing against the people in Fresno. You're playing against the people in the state. You're playing against the people in the nation. Okay? So whether you think, right, you can or you think you can't, you're right. Research shows that confident people accomplish more of their goals, earn higher incomes, and get promoted more quickly than their counterparts. True confidence, as opposed to false confidence to make their insecurities, is completely different. Mentally tough people keep moving forward against all odds. And by the way, you want to become more confident? Anybody want to become more confident? Everybody is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You got to get more competent. Okay. So this is to me is an easy one. So if you go to bed every single night listening to an audio book, if you wake up in the morning and you read something that's a self-improvement every single day, if you go to bed and you wake up thinking that way every single day, guess what? Guess what's going to happen? I mean, you're going to change your whole life. I mean, you realize, right? You'll never be the same person again. It's a different mentality, right? You're going to dress better. You're going to talk better, right? I can always tell, what if people are self-improving, right? Because you talk to them and they sound like they're, from freaking the hood or something like that. You know what I mean? I mean, really. Because what happens? They're talking to their drunk uncle, on the weekends, right? And they're talking all their smack, and it's just, again, I grew up in a not so good neighborhood in El Monte, California, so I know what it sounds like. So that's one of the things I did as a younger kid, is that I listened to a lot of talk radio. Of course, I studied Tony Robbins. I studied Hector Lamarck. I studied some of the best salespeople in the world. Now again, I don't have to be them, right? We're all gonna, maybe I say some more bad words than maybe Hector or something like that, but that's me. That's my style. You're always gonna bring your own style, but what I'm saying is that the way that you communicate to that prospect or that new recruit or whoever, that's where the confidence comes in. Yeah. Right? And this is all just a learning process. You're not going to get it in a day. Mm-hmm. This is like every day. If you think about it, if you get 1% better every day, that's 365% better you got that year.
Right.
I mean, let's be honest. I mean, if you're getting better 300% most people don't get better by 300% a year. But imagine if you did. Imagine if you got better 100% a year. I mean, what your life is going to look like? I mean, it's just compound interest, man. It's compounding. I mean, you realize my net worth today, this is nothing. I'm barely 49 years old, guys. That's nothing. I'll turn that into $100 million plus before I'm done.
Nice.
Okay? I mean, look, and it's not just about that. It's about the fact that it's possible.
Right.
And if it's possible, why not us? Why not you? Why can't you have great things in your life? Why has it got to be everybody else that gets all the good stuff in life, man? No. Why not us, man? We can too, right? So, mentally tough people learn from their past and don't dwell on it. You know, you got to make peace, man. Understand the past serves only to make them better. Right? We're all flawed, man. We're all, you know, we all got problems. We all got issues. And I don't care how good somebody looks. They always got issues. They always got problems. They always got something going on. Most people don't know what's going on in your life right now. Right? So that's why you can't take it personal. Because when we talk, we're talking in generalities. Sometimes we come to a meeting and you think the person, you're like, how does he know that? How does he know that about me, man? He's like, he's talking right to me, asshole. You know what I mean? And then you get mad, okay? No, it ain't about you. It's about the fact that we're just trying to get better. We're just trying to move forward, trying to build something. So, but you got to remember that the past is the past, man. There's nothing you can do. You got to just keep moving forward. You're not dwelling on anything. I don't care what your year looked like last year. I don't care what kind of month you had last month. What I care about is, are you going to actually invite 10 people this Tuesday night? Are you actually going to recruit somebody, like Vince said, recruit at least one person this month? Are you actually going to go do that? Are you actually going to take responsibility that you're a part of this team? You're a part of this team. You're a part of this team. You're a part of this team. And how the heck are you ever going to ask your people in the future to step up to the plate if you don't step up to the plate? How are you going to do that? With a straight face, how are you going to tell your people? Like, look, I was the most coachable. I was the most on it. I was the hardest worker. I got there early. I stayed late. I did all the things I was supposed to do. Right? That was my decision. That little kid, man, he's going to be a great motivational speaker. He's got a great voice, man. So we have to remember that the past is the past. Leave it alone, man. Don't touch it. We don't need it. It doesn't matter to us, man. We're better than that, okay? You're going to rise to the occasion. Okay? All right, mental toughness. No doesn't mean never. No means not yet. Keep going, don't quit. 44% of all salespeople give up after hearing no. You realize that? 22% give up after hearing a second no. 14% give up after hearing a third no. 12% give up after hearing a fourth no. That means 92% of all salespeople give up after only 4 no's. 60% of all customers say no 4 times. Wow. So, right? I mean, so we're spineless. Come on. If they say no, you just overcome the objection and try to get them to say yes the second time. If they say no again, overcome the objection again. That's where the confidence comes in. Is you don't stop until you get as many no's. Look, I'll be honest, guys. I mean, I almost threw blows with a client, like in, this is probably 20 years ago, but I almost threw on the lawn because I tried to overcome his objection probably 10 times. And then he wanted to fight me afterwards, you know what I mean? So it almost happened. Look, it happens, right? Somebody's going to get mad. I always like to go to that line, right? There's a line. Sometimes it's an imaginary, invisible line. You don't know where that line is. But I always like to get as close to that line as possible. And I don't know where it is. Sometimes I cross it and it was not right. You know what I mean? They get upset. So, but I'm a closer, right? I close. And that's the difference of me versus 99.999% of the people in our company, is that I'm a closer. And I will close anytime, any place, anywhere. Because think about it. Isn't it easy just to say, hey man, you know, if I was a teacher and train you, wouldn't you try? I mean, would you just give it a shot? And then he says, well, I don't have enough time. And I go, well, how much time do you have, man? I mean, if I was able to help you, give you an extra, you know, a couple $1,000 a month, I mean, what you said you need, I mean, would you be willing to do like 4 hours, or, you know, how many hours could you set aside? Well, I could do 4 hours a week. Okay, great, man. I'm going to figure it out. 4 hours a week. We're going to get you a couple grand. Would you say yes? Would you give it a shot? It's so difficult. No, man, I don't know, man. I'm not sure about your company. Okay, so if I was to show you that our company's legitimate and it's real and been around since 1977 and we have great, you know, stats and our stock is blowing up right now and all that stuff. I mean, if I was to do that for you, would you give it a shot? And the guy goes, well, I don't know, man. I mean, it's great, but I'm not a salesperson, you know. Okay, great. I get it. You're not a salesperson, but have you ever, you know, recommended something? Like, you ever ate at a good restaurant and the guy's like, you know, yeah, I recommended I ate at a good restaurant. You ever recommended a good restaurant? Yeah, I told my sister about the restaurant I went and ate. Okay, awesome, man. That's great. That's wonderful. So you actually just referred to your sister. What did you do? You sold your sister on what a great restaurant was. Now, I'm not saying you got to be super salesperson or anything like that, but if I was to teach you the words, what to say, how to say it, would you at least try, man? I mean, would you at least give it a shot? This is your shot to change your family tree forever like you said you wanted, right? Do you still want that? Do you still want to change your life? Do you still want to have a better, do you still want to retire your parents like you told me you wanted to? Right? I mean, you realize? And again, give me 14 more and I'll 14 more. Right? I mean, it doesn't matter. What he says, I can overcome it. Unless he says, I'm just totally not interested and I want nothing to do with this and blah, blah, blah. Right? But remember, people just don't want to make a bad decision. That's all. Yeah. And they want you to convince them to say yes. And you know, it's your job to do what I just did right now to get them to say yes. Right. That's your job. Your job is to study the scripts, study the words, watch the videos. I mean, do you guys realize, I mean, I have a Wealth on the Beach Club private Facebook group. Do you all know I have a private Facebook group? If you don't, you should get on it. Gabby is on it, so if you all want to know how to do it, access it, Gabby will help you. But do you realize there's 250 videos on it? I've been doing once a week recorded calls, Zoom calls, since 2019. So there's hundreds of videos. So all you got to do is go in there and just search. Oh, I want to learn about how to close. I want to learn about how to be a better salesperson. I want to learn how to recruit. I want to learn how to, I mean, literally anything. There's almost every subject that you could imagine, it's on there. We have the process book. She has the process book. She'll send you the link for the process book. It's the, you know, it's the kind of the scripts of exactly what we do and how we do it. Imagine if you guys spent the next 6 months just mastering that. If you're not good at it, some of you already have mastered it, so you don't need it. But if you don't feel like you're confident right now, and you got this down, then don't you think you should? Yep. Yeah, right. Because I mean, do you realize I've been doing this so long that I meet with people all the time, and I'll meet with them and I'll say, hey, you know, do you think you really got this down? And I'll say, how long you been in the business? Oh, I've been here 5 years, 10 years. Do you really feel like you got it down? And do you realize, like, probably 50% of the people, 80% of the people say that they don't have it down. They can't do what I just did the way I did it right now. Wow. And if you can't, then you need to go back to the drawing board, don't you think? Mm-hmm. Okay? And get it down. So exercise, exercise to help you become more mentally tough. Practice gratitude. Don't be afraid to say no. Love yourself and take care of your body. Set boundaries. Don't blame others. Don't compare yourself. Don't run away from fear. Right? Run towards fear. Prepare, train, and develop. Don't be a victim. Right? Victims don't make it in anything, by the way. Right? If you have a poor me mentality, like, oh my God, you know, it's because I was born in a bad neighborhood and, you know, our community didn't have the proper educational system and blah, blah, blah. You know, it's all bullshit. It's all a bunch of crap. It's not real. Right. I can show you anybody, especially in Primerica, we're a perfect example of like this big melting pot of people. Like every single race, every single age, every single like where people were born, I mean, economics, that right, every single, do you realize that? Every single possible human being has made it in Primerica. I mean, everybody. I mean, what would Naranjo, he's at over $6 million a year, and they don't even, most of their business, they don't even speak English.
Wow.
So what's our excuse? We can speak English, right? So imagine them having to take that test, right? Imagine them having to, like, so many things they need to learn. Imagine a lot of new immigrants probably that are there. So it's not easy, but they're winning. So if they're winning, what's stopping us from winning, right? Don't look left, don't look right, look up. Okay? I mean, really. I mean, you got to have, you know, I think you got to have a connection with God. You have a connection with your faith. You got to have a connection with, like, all right, you know, somebody, like, we're here to do something great, but in His name, in my opinion. And I just feel like, you know, we're always looking left and right, right? And I don't know why I always felt this way, but I always felt like God had my back. I always felt like, I mean, I always prayed. I always had a belief in God. I always had a connection with God, and I always talked to Him like He was my friend. I always talked to Him like I knew Him. And I just feel like, you know, when you have God on your side, there's nothing that can stop you. Like, you are literally unstoppable when you know Him and you know why you're doing what you're doing. You know the reasons why. It was never about just the money for me. Of course we all want to get wealthy. Of course we want to be financially secure and, you know, have a lot, you know, be okay. But it was never just that. It can't be just about that. You got to have this feeling inside that, look, I'm doing something to make a difference in these people's lives. I mean, do you realize that people are getting scammed on their insurances right now? Do you realize that people are getting scammed when they're making investments right now? I'm about to, well, I don't know, we'll see what happens, but I'm working on a $7 million investment. This guy just got a settlement for $7 million. And I'm working on it. Don't know what's going to happen, but it's interesting because I'm having these conversations with this guy, and he's talking about how he's talking to Morgan Stanley or, you know, some of these other places, and these guys, and so he's very like, oh my God, you know, this guy manages all these billions of dollars and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, that's great. I said, but they don't have a guarantee in what they're offering you. You think I would give a guy $7 million if I'm not getting a guarantee? Because give me a guarantee. At least I'm going to get 5% or 4% or 3%. You know, at least I have to get a guarantee on that. Because you can literally live the rest of your life on a 5%. That's $250,000, or not, that's on 5 million. But anyways, bottom line is that's $500,000. A $5 million at 10%, that's $500,000 a year without getting out of bed.
Wow.
Right? Just if you had that guarantee, right? Now, half of that, it's still $250 without getting out of bed for the rest of your life, without even touching the principal. And you can touch the principal, you know, at least 10% anytime you want, or at least every year. So the point I'm trying to make is that most people, because imagine if that guy goes with the guy from Morgan, right? Imagine if he does that. Like, the guy could have sold him like crazy. But imagine if we have a major crisis next year. Well, what if the guy gives him $7 million and he loses 10%? Do you realize that's $700,000? $700,000 if it goes down 10%. He has to do business with me. He would be crazy not to do business with me. Do you get what I'm saying here? And that's just one instance. This is happening, and again, it might be somebody with 100,000, it might be somebody with 50,000, it might be something, whatever. It's a lot of money. And we do what's right. Always remember that. Okay? I mean, there are other companies that, yeah, they're going to go sell something. Maybe they're going to make some extra commission because their product has a higher commission or whatever. But you understand, I go to sleep every single night perfectly.
Yeah.
Because we do what's right.
Right.
100% of the time.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of that, guys, because I could have gone anywhere. I could have worked anywhere. I could have done anything. Right? I could go work with any company in the world, man. I mean, I have the licenses to work anywhere I want to work. But I chose our company simply because we do what's right.
Right.
And that's hopefully that's important to you guys too.
Yeah.
So anyways, here's a couple of books. 177 Mental Toughness Secrets of the World Class, As a Man Thinketh, and Relentless. If you haven't read these books, you need to go after my book, by the way.
I got that.
Okay. Then you get these books. This is so important, man, because you're challenging yourself to become a different you.
Right.
You're literally recreating yourself. You're not going to be the same person. If you hang with us and you don't quit like everybody else does, you don't wimp out like everybody else does. But if you're tough enough and you hang with us for a good period of time, I promise you, we're going to change your life because you're going to become a different man. You're not going to be the same person because you're going to start improving your mind. You're going to start talking differently. You're going to start dressing differently. You're going to start becoming a better version of you. Nothing wrong with you. You're a great guy the way you are. But you know there's another level, right?
Yeah.
And you know that nobody's going to pay you $1 million where you're at right now. I mean, I literally, I was, I don't know, I think I left my phone back there, but I mean.
Right there, you're
That was a brain mishap. Anyways, no, it's funny because I was showing them the other night. I mean, just this last month, just in investments, I was paid $150,000 in the last 30 days. I think you saw it on Zoom. But I mean, that's just sick, right? It's sick money, right? Plus another $90,000 from Primerica last month. So you put that together. I mean, it's just stupid money, right? And so, but how did that happen? It happened because I know what I'm doing when it comes to investments. Right? I know how to trade. I know how to make money in the market. And because of that, and this is a lot of years of learning and watching videos and talking to people and getting better and improving and having no ego. Right? I don't have an ego for anything. Like, I don't care who gives me the information. I just want the information. I just want to get better and get richer. Right? I just want to grow the dang number bigger. I don't care who gives me the information. I don't care who tells me. I just want to grow. I just want to do better. I just want to, make a difference. So just remember, make sure that you're not the weapon formed against yourself that is causing you not to prosper.
Wow. Did you make that up?
No, I didn't. but it probably, but it was good anyways. Melinda. You didn't have to throw me under the bus. I stole it from somebody. So. I don't know where it came from. I just had the slide a long time ago. So, but isn't it crazy though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we sabotage ourselves on stuff all the time. Like, we literally sabotage ourselves. Why are we doing that? Why do we keep making the same mistakes over and over again? So, all right, so right now, okay, let's get something straight here, okay? Right now, you're going to go between now and the end of the year, and you're not going to miss a meeting.
That's right.
Is that a deal?
Yep.
Is that a deal? All of you, is that a deal?
Yes.
You're not going to miss a meeting.
Nope.
Because number one thing to growing your business is you got to show up.
Yeah, right.
If you can't even do step number one right, how do you think you're going to make $1 million? How do you think you're going to make 100,000? How do you think you're going to ever build a team? If you can't do measly, easy, stupid, takes no talent, step number one.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, just show up. What do I got to do? All right, so what's step number two? What's step number two? Step number two is you got to bring what? You got to bring somebody.
Yes.
I mean, really, how much talent is that?
Right.
Not a whole lot of talent there because I go, hey, would you like to come to a meeting? No. Hey, would you like to make an extra few $1,000s a month? Well, yeah. Okay, good. Come with me. Let's talk about it. Let's let's look at a possibility, right? Look, I don't know. It might not even be for you. What am I doing right there? It's takeaway clothes, right? It might not even be for you, but at least you'll know something, right? At least you'll learn something new. At least it'll be a possibility for you. And at least you could, X out that possibility if you really feel it's not for you. It's okay, right? Does that sound fair? Does that sound fair? Does that sound fair? Does that sound fair?
Yes.
All right? And then you start using that, right? Does that sound fair? And then you go, yeah, cool. All right, good. I'll pick you up, man. We'll go together. So this is so step number 2. It's not very much talent. And once you've done it once or twice the right way, then you can do it forever. The challenge with most people in our business is they just don't talk to anybody. Let's be honest. You just don't talk to enough people. You go an entire day without actually prospecting somebody for this is your company. That's your only job in this company. That's your only job. That's your only thing that you need to do is you need to bring people so you can build your team.
Right.
That's how you get the passive income, by the way. It's the team. I don't go out there and make all my money by myself. I built a team, and because of those people ended up building an organization that creates passive income for them. So remember, this is you, really fighting against your, laziness, fighting against your fears, and really that's what this is about.
Right.
You're hurting your own self. Don't do that anymore. Just tell yourself like this. Just get up. You get up in the morning. You're like, look, I'm gonna get 10 names and numbers a day. I don't care who I talk to. I'm just gonna talk to everyone. And by the way, if I do that every single day for 30 days, you realize that's like 300 people.
Yeah.
Imagine if you talk to 300 people. Could you recruit 5 people out of 300?
Yes.
Is that possible?
Yeah.
So if you recruited 5 people, you'd have been the #1 recruiter in the entire hierarchy.
Ooh.
If you would have just recruited 5 people, personal, you'd have been the #1 person. Well, so how you gonna do something great? Go be #1.
Yeah.
Right? Go be #1. To compete in our hierarchy first. Go be #1 in our hierarchy, and then start competing in the state, and then eventually you compete in the nation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds fun.